Welcome to our broadcast, everybody, and it's time for us to give away a t-shirt. Before we start the show every single day, we got to be doing our t-shirt giveaways, you know. Everyone who shares the newscast on their timeline is entered to win. So if you share the video today, you may win tomorrow, right? Winners are announced each day, the following day, and a winner gets, throw it over here. Let's have it. All right, let's show everybody. Check this out. Winner gets one of these babies. It's an NEA Report Real Journalism shirt. There you go. All you got to do to get entered to win is share this video, okay? And the winner for today's is Sherry Ray. Sherry says hello to us every single day. Well, hello, Sherry. Today you got a t-shirt out of it. Thanks a lot for watching every day. We appreciate that. Remember to share this video, and you might be the next winner right here on NEA Report. Who's ready for some news? Hang on. It's 4 o'clock in Jonesboro, where college tuition is at least hoped to not be raised this year after Governor Asa Hutchinson made a plea to all colleges and universities across the state to freeze tuition for 2018. Winter is on the way. Thursday night into Friday morning, we may have a snowy situation on our hands, so we'll actually check in with the National Weather Service for a video update on the way. Some duplexes were denied at an MAPC meeting last night. We'll talk about that, plus a case of stinky, smelly vandalism. This is gross. An officer hospitalized earlier this week in Jonesboro. We checked in with him. And how's that escapee doing? Remember the one we did the live video hunting for? Well, he's been sentenced, and we'll tell you what it was next.
Reporting.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson has a challenge for Arkansas colleges and universities. Hold on to that tuition. Don't raise it, he says. He wants the 2018 tuition to be frozen right where it's at, but he's pledging some money in exchange for those efforts. If at least they come to fruition, well, that's another matter. But the governor's pledging $10 million for higher education in his fiscal budget for this year for the state. All the colleges are asked across the state, but here in Northeast Arkansas, Arkansas State University issued a response saying they're going to give it their best. They're going to try, but they'll have to see how it goes during the budget process itself. It's time to give our students a break. That's a quote from Asa Hutchinson. He said in his remarks to legislators. Dr. Chuck Welch, the president of the Arkansas State University system, issued a 3-paragraph statement responding, and he said he respects, understands, and shares the governor's concern about keeping in-state tuition affordable. He mentioned that one of the top ASU system strategic planning goals is to use the CPI as the guide for tuition requests from our campuses. He did go on to mention that the absence of state funding for capital improvements, deferred maintenance, health insurance costs, and faculty and staff salaries is going to make it take continued creative thinking and changes in how we operate to meet the short-term and long-term needs of our students. That is a quote from Welch. At the Jonesboro Public Schools school board meeting last night, the decision was made to go ahead and move forward with the purchase of Trinity Church on Highland Drive. Again, because it's already happened once. If you follow the story, you know that late last year, what happened was that the Jonesboro Public School Board voted to buy the church. It happened, I think, at the end of October, and then there was a little bit of controversy from some more vocal members of the congregation. The church held a vote for the congregation to decide after the fact, even though that was not part of the church's charter. And whenever the vote was held, 83% voted in favor of it, according to Trinity Church pastor Chad Gonzalez, who spoke exclusively to NEA Report. 83% voted in favor of it, and in attendance, by the way, for the vote was 82% of the congregation. Trinity Church will be sold to Jonesboro Public Schools for $2.5 million. The sale had been authorized by the board of directors, but of course the title company did not want to insure the sale until the full congregation had a chance to vote after a bit of a stink was made in the local newspaper. The church will be sold now, and the pastor says that the church itself, well, at least the property is going to be sold, we should say. The church itself will not be sold. The church itself will continue on, just on a different plot of land. A rezoning request before the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission was denied, and that means another set of duplexes will not be coming into Jonesboro. It was 8.83 acres at 2110 Warren Street in Jonesboro. A request had been put in to rezone to residential multifamily. They wanted to build a bunch of duplexes over there, JG Properties. Well, some neighbors showed up to the meeting last night, and they were not happy. They said that, in fact, some of the area had been plagued with crime because of the multifamily units that were already there. MAPC heard the request to not build it, and they did deny that last night. An officer of the Jonesboro Police Department was hospitalized this week after a fight with a resisting suspect. The officer is okay, and the suspect now behind bars for his trouble, facing a number of felony charges. It happened earlier this week when Robert Darrell Carter, 50 of Lake City, was stopped by Officer Michael Talley. He was riding a bike with no lights. Not the officer, but the suspect. But then the suspect was later found to have several different items on him that he's not supposed to have: cocaine, meth, and some weed, all found. In fact, the guy smelled like marijuana, according to the report. See, instead of stopping whenever the officer was trying to talk to him, and in fact, he kept going back in his pockets with his hands, according to the officer, the suspect began resisting arrest. An active fight broke out between the officer and the suspect, Carter. In fact, Carter ran off, and the officer was injured and received a concussion, or sustained a concussion. He actually had to go to the hospital and was treated for that. The report was first published in the Jonesboro Sun today. I reached out to the officer and asked him how he was doing, just to find out, if he was okay. He mentioned it sounded worse, he said, in the report that was first published than he actually was doing. He mentioned he did have a concussion and he did have a headache and his hand was banged up, but he was doing pretty well. The guy trains in jiu-jitsu, so I'm sure he's been in a couple of scuffles before. But the suspect, well, he was arrested and booked early Monday into Craighead County Detention Center. We're learning about a stinky revenge plot that unfolded earlier this week in Jonesboro. The report was made Monday with Jonesboro Police Department when a woman came out of her house or home on the 1600 block of North Culver House to find a back seat of her car covered in gunk. And the word gunk is maybe the nastiest four-letter word I can even think of. Okay, maybe not, but I can think, spam might be the nastiest four-letter word we can think of. Four of the grossest things you could think of covered this back seat: tuna fish, bait, chicken livers, and spam. The father of the victim believed the culprit was one of her ex-boyfriends, but the victim didn't think so. She said her boyfriends wouldn't do that to her. Maybe with so many exes, that may be a clue as to another culprit. Nonetheless, if you know who may have been behind this, call JPD, call Crime Stoppers at 935-STOP. That's 935-7867 if you know who's been walking around with spam, tuna, bait, and chicken livers in their back pocket. Well, we've seen a foggy day across northeast Arkansas today, but the fog is going to become a snow worry for us as we move toward this weekend. Yes, we're talking snow. It's back, or at least it's possibly back. But first up, if you're out and about driving today, do use extra caution. As we mentioned, fog was pretty dense all day today. So as you're headed home, this was what it looked like earlier today, by the way. As you're headed home, use extra time for stopping and make sure you take into account that the roads are extra slick. The National Weather Service has issued a 7-day hazardous weather outlook for us for the next several days, as there's the potential for snow across northeast Arkansas really late Thursday, but it's truly not going to start until super early Friday morning. So just think overnight Thursday into Friday morning. It says that there will be periods of sleet and freezing rain before snow actually begins itself. The main forecast, though, it's really still uncertain as to what the locations are going to see and how much it's going to see for different communities or different areas. As we mentioned, it's one of those things that's still ongoing, and the Weather Service, they have to kind of get a better grasp for what the situation is going to do before they can really give you specifics. But here in just a short time, we're going to actually have a visit from the National Weather Service, and they'll give you a full knowledge of what they have, at least right now, for this possible winter situation coming up later this week. First up, let's talk about the New Wave Wireless 5-day forecast, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. For this afternoon, we're watching for temperatures not to drop down very much. In fact, tonight they're going to drop down to about 55 for the low, with cloudy skies and a 50% chance for some rainfall. You might see really not much rain, less than 1/10 of an inch possible overnight. For your Thursday, showers are expected all day long. snow, maybe a quarter of an inch of that, with a high near 64 degrees, and winds maybe 15 miles per hour, southwesterly so. Thursday night, rain showers will last up until the overnight hours. After midnight into early Friday morning, before 3 a.m., we'll see rain, then snow, freezing rain, and sleet. One of the reasons why is that overnight low drops to 28 degrees. Really, chance for precipitation is at 90% for Thursday night. It says right now for the Weather Service, little to no ice accumulation expected, less than half an inch of new snow and sleet accumulation expected. For your Friday, a 40% chance for some snowfall, cloudy, then becoming mostly sunny later on in the day with a high near 28, 22 for the low Friday night. And then on Saturday, it looks to be a partly sunny day with a high near freezing, a low around 16 degrees. For your Sunday, mostly sunny, the high below freezing, 30, 22 for the overnight low. As you move into MLK Day for Monday, Martin Luther King Day will be a 36-degree day, and we're watching for more possibilities for snowfall coming in Monday night and then into Tuesday of next week. Hang tight. As we mentioned, we'll have an update from the National Weather Service on exactly what this potential weather situation for Thursday night into Friday looks like in just a short. Coming up after the break, we're going to check in with the National Weather Service in Memphis as we've got this winter craziness that's on the way late Thursday and early into Friday. The possibility for some snowfall to accumulate is there, maybe even the possibility for a little bit of ice here and there too. So we're going to check in with the Weather Service coming up after the break and get a detailed analysis on what's on the way. Plus more news. Hang on.
Brothers Flooring on Highway 67 South in Pocahontas has all your flooring covered. Stop by our showroom Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and see all we have. Carpet with pad and install starting at $16.50 a square yard. Laminate with pad installed starting at just $3.25 a square foot. Every name brand of engineered and solid hardwood from $5 a square foot and up. Waterproof vinyl planks, wood look and tile look, attached cork pack starting at $3.49 a square foot installed. Ceramic and porcelain tile of all sizes and all colors. We build custom tiled showers from the floor up shelves and benches, tub surrounds, kitchen backsplashes like no other. Brothers Flooring, Highway 67 North in Pocahontas. Call today, 870-892-2525.
If you're a business owner, gaining new customers and retaining them is your top priority and biggest hurdle. Today, 85% of customers search online or look for you on social media. Do you have an effective strategy to reach them? At Ace One, we will customize a digital marketing strategy comprising of social media, web, and video marketing that fits your budget. Our dedicated account managers will work with you to create engaging campaigns, covering all digital media outlets. Ace One, your partner in digital marketing. Contact us today.
There were several live streams that a lot of people found out about NEA Report through last year. Probably the biggest that we did was the downtown shooting that happened on Main Street in Jonesboro. There was some live streaming that we did during the flooding that happened in Randolph County, some in Lawrence counties as well. But the big one that we did toward the end of the year was when an inmate escaped. He escaped custody after being transported from St. Bernard's Hospital back to Poinsett County. Well, now he's found out his sentence as he pled guilty and was sentenced to 6 years in prison for his efforts. We're talking about Jonathan Ware, 31 of Paragould, who escaped police on October 26th. NEA Report was live out on the scene searching through abandoned buildings and different areas as police tried to find the escaped suspect who gave neighbors and others in the area really kind of a crazy scare. Some schools, I think, were even placed on lockdown as well in the area, Fox Meadow, I think. He pled to third-degree escape and some misdemeanors as well and received a concurrent sentence of 6 years. That'll go along with the sentence that he's already serving for, so it may not actually be any additional time for the man. He may just serve 6 years on top of 6 years, but they're both at the same time, so it's not 12, it's just 6. Nonetheless, that's what happened after the man was found on October 27th in a garbage can. Oscar the Grouch in Jonesboro. Trash schedules in Jonesboro will be a little bit different next week as we're celebrating Martin Luther King Day on Monday. So, just a heads up, if your trash or your recycling is picked up on Monday, well, it's going to be done on Tuesday. Monday routes will be done on Tuesday. Tuesdays will be done then too. And then we're back to the normal schedule for the rest of the week, Wednesday through Friday. There's a meeting set this month that the people hosting would like for us to tell you about. It sounds kind of cool, too. The Inventors Club of Northeast Arkansas is planning their meeting, the first one of 2018, and it's going to be on Thursday, January 18th at Fat City, East Johnson in Jonesboro. This meeting's open to members and supporters of the Inventors Club of Northeast Arkansas, but also to the general public, folks like me who just want to know more about it and how to develop new product ideas and patent products. If you're one of those folks like me that watches Shark Tank all the time, this might be just something for you. If you want to find out more information, Inventors Club of nearkansas.org. You can probably do better than just trying to follow my words by Googling Inventors Club of Northeast Arkansas. That'll do it. A lot of worry and concern about what's coming on Thursday night and into Friday in senses of the weather, because the National Weather Service does say that we've got that possibility for snow, and they're saying that's likely. The thing that they're not sure about yet is the ice. The 7-day hazardous weather outlook does show a lot of really potential for snow across northeast Arkansas. It's also into the Mid-South, but the Weather Service office in Memphis is what covers us here in NEA. They're saying that the main forecast is still uncertain with the locations and the amounts, and so really all we're left to do is watch, wonder, and wait. However, the National Weather Service is issuing some regular weather update videos, and they issued one for us today that we're going to take a look at right now.
Hello from the National Weather Service in Memphis. Here's a quick update on the winter weather potential for late this week. Taking a look at the headlines, we will see rain during the day Thursday. That'll be changing over to freezing and frozen precipitation as we get into late Thursday night and Friday. We do have the potential for accumulating winter precipitation over much of the Mid-South with this event, and it looks like the precipitation will be ending as we get into the late Friday or Friday night period. Now, again, the precipitation is going to start as rain and then change over to freezing or frozen. The timeline for this changeover, we should see the changeover Thursday night after midnight for northeastern Arkansas, the Missouri Boot Heel, and perhaps right along the Mississippi River in West Tennessee. Then the remainder of the Mid-South will see the changeover on Friday morning. And this will be a transition going from rain. We'll have a period then of freezing rain and sleet before we actually get into the snow. As far as possible snow accumulations, the heaviest accumulation should be over near the Tennessee River with an excess of 2 inches, perhaps in excess of 4 inches up in the Paris area up in Henry County. And during that transition period, we could see perhaps a couple hundredths of an inch of freezing rain across the area as well. Now, some of the contingencies that we're looking at, we do have overall moderate to high confidence in winter precipitation across the Mid-South. As far as the specific timing, location, and amounts, low to moderate confidence at this point. Still some details that need to be worked out. The depth and speed of the cold air moving in is going to be very important. If the cold air is slower and more shallow, then we'll see more freezing rain and sleet. If the cold air is faster and deeper than currently forecast, we'll see more snow. And the overall speed of the system is going to determine how quickly the precipitation begins and ends. So summarizing, again, we'll see rain changing over to a freezing and frozen precipitation across a good portion of the Mid-South Thursday night and Friday. Potential for accumulating precipitation with the precipitation ending on Friday night.
Up to date. We're definitely going to keep watching this and keep you up to date over the next few days here on NEA Report. We really won't know until probably tomorrow at least exactly what could all take place and how bad it could be. But tomorrow we'll have a better idea. We'll let you know. And if we wake up to a bunch of craziness on Friday morning, well, then we'll come in and we'll go live. Okay? You ready for that, James?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Tonight we're looking for a 50% chance of rainfall. Cloudy skies, the low down to 55. Not a very really low temperature that we're going to be going down to tonight. Then Thursday, showers with a high near 64 and winds up to 15 miles per hour. It's Thursday night that we'll see showers up until around 3 a.m. Then snow, freezing rain, and sleet into the overnight hours Thursday night and Friday morning, a low of 28. And then Friday, the chance for snow is really here. It's up until about 3 a.m. We even have a chance for other stuff. And then Friday morning, 3 a.m., that's when they're saying it really could start. A chance for that for Friday is going to be 40%. And really not more than a half an inch of sleet and snowfall is expected, but nonetheless, going to be watching that very closely. By the way, not even there yet, but we're looking ahead for next week. Monday and Tuesday have the potential for snowfall too. So next week may end up being a crazy week as well. We'll keep watch on that for sure. That'll do it for us tonight here on NEA Report. Glad to have you in with us. Don't forget to share this video if you want to be entered to win one of our t-shirts. We'll be making winners every day this week and one day next week at least too. We may keep giving them away long term. We'll see. Invite you back in tomorrow at 4 o'clock here on Facebook for more news from Northeast Arkansas, and on YouTube after the fact if you want to watch the news on demand. Thanks everybody for joining us. Have a good night.